What if I told you we got to experience Norwegian Cruise Line's brand new water park on Great Stirrup Cay before it even officially opened? And yes, we rode the slides, we did the cliff jump, we floated the lazy river, we had drinks at the swim-up bar, and we ate lunch. But the big question is, was it worth the money? We paid $59.99 per person for our visit, and we're going to show you exactly what you get for that price, what we loved, what we didn't love, and whether we'd pay to do it again.
Woo! Goodbye! Oh my gosh, this is so fun! I know!
We were visiting Great Stirrup Cay during a soft opening of Great Tides Waterpark, so this wasn't a normal cruise day experience. And that's important because the park wasn't officially open yet. The grand opening is scheduled for September 4th, so we were getting a pretty early look at what Norwegian Cruise Line has built here. One thing we were really happy about on this visit was that the dock was open, so we didn't have to tender to the island. Once you're on Great Stirrup Cay, the water park is the last stop on the trolley. And here's a little heads up, the ride back can take a little patience. Because the water park is the last stop, the trolley may already have quite a few people on it when it arrives. So keep that in mind when you're planning your time. And then you walk in and you realize this isn't just a couple of water slides thrown onto the island. Great Tides is a full water park experience with 4 main areas: Tidal Tower, Cliffside Cove, Wandering River, and Splash Cay. There are 19 slides and attractions throughout the park, including a huge kids splash area. And the entire thing is surprisingly easy to get around. Everything is pretty close together, so you're not spending your entire day walking from one attraction to another. Well, except for one thing, those stairs. There are a lot of stairs.
Where's the elevator? Catch your breath, catch your breath.
My legs are burning.
Okay.
Let's start with what is probably the biggest draw here, Tidal Tower. This is where you'll find several of the park's major slides. And our absolute favorite was Breakwater Blasters. This is the 2-person tube ride that uses water jets to actually push you uphill. And yes, it's as crazy as it sounds.
Here we go!
This was my favorite slide in the entire park, and Scott agrees that it's one of his favorites too. The nice thing is, you don't have to carry the tubes all the way up the tower. They're waiting for you at the top, which is good because after climbing all those stairs, the last thing I wanted to do was carry a giant tube with me. You'll also find the Whitewater Dash, Rapid Mat Racers, Tropic Storm, and Tropic Spiral here. Whitewater Dash is the body slide option. Rapid Mat Racers lets you race side by side on mats. And Tropic Storm and Tropic Spiral are the tube slides. We had a lot of fun on these, and one of them had us going backwards for part of the ride, which was definitely not what I expected. But the other side of the park might actually be where Scott had the most fun. Welcome to Cliffside Cove. This area has the cliff jump, the great slide, and Fearless Falls. And this is where things get a little more Scott.
How was the cliff jump?
No joke high.
There are 2 cliff jumps here, a lower and a higher jump. And I'm not gonna lie, that high one looks a lot scarier when you're standing up there looking down. And then there's the Great Slide. This is the 4-person body slide, and it's a really unique attraction. You basically slide together and skim across the water at the end. This was another one of my favorites. Scott's favorite part of the entire park was actually this whole side. The cliff jump, the 4-person slide, and the slides that shoot you right out into the water. So, apparently, we have very different definitions of fun. Now let's slow things down a little. This is the Wandering River. And technically, Norwegian doesn't call it a lazy river because it's designed to have a little more current than a traditional lazy river. But for us, it's the lazy river. It's not huge, but we actually thought it was a lot of fun. You can grab a tube, wear a life jacket, or just float along on your own. And one of our favorite parts is this little grotto. It was surprisingly peaceful in here, very calm, very relaxing, until you remember there's a swim-up bar nearby. Yep, you can grab a drink without leaving the river. And yes, our beverage package worked here. But there is one thing you need to know. You can't go around the lazy river with any food or drink. So even though you can get a drink at the swim-up bar, you're not going to be taking that cocktail with you in the lazy river. And here's where we get to one of our biggest opinions about the park. If you're buying a ticket specifically to use the lazy river, we just don't think it's worth it. The lazy river is fun, but it's not big enough, in our opinion, to justify buying a water park pass by itself. And there's another thing we think Norwegian missed. There's no pool inside the water park where you can just hang out. And honestly, we think that's a missed opportunity. A wave pool would have been amazing here. Or even just a regular pool where you could sit, relax, and cool off between the slides. Because if you're not riding slides or floating the river, there really isn't a dedicated pool area inside the water park. Now, there are plenty of loungers and umbrellas throughout the park, and because this was a soft opening, we never had trouble finding one. But that brings us to another little seating issue. Lunch was included with our visit, and the food was pretty much what you'd expect from a casual island water park. We're talking hamburgers, hot dogs, jerk chicken, potato salad, veggie salad, corn on the cob, and a few other sides. And for dessert, they had things like pound cake and banana bread. There are also food trucks if you want something different and are willing to pay extra. The one thing we did notice was that the dining area didn't have enough shaded seating. There was a sunshade overhead, but a lot of the tables were still sitting directly in the sun. But we found a little secret. Right near the grotto bar, there was some seating that was completely shaded, and nobody was using it. So, you're welcome. There are also a few practical things that I think are important to know before you go. Bathrooms? Yes. Showers? Yes. Lockers? Yes. Towels? Provided. And there are water stations and bottle fillers throughout the park. The cups at the water stations are tiny, basically Dixie cup size. But if you need a real cup of water, the bartenders will happily give you one for free. And if you have the free at sea beverage package, you can use it at the water park as well. So you don't need to buy a separate drink package just for this area. And if you're cruising with kids, there's a whole area just for them called Splash Cay. You've got slides, water features, and that giant tipping bucket that dumps an entire load of water on everyone below. That alone would have kept some kids entertained for hours. And it's separated enough from the bigger slides that families have a dedicated area to enjoy. So, let's talk about the question everybody is going to ask. Is Great Tides Waterpark worth it? We paid $59.99 per person for our soft opening visit. And at that price, yes, we think it's worth it. We had a blast, we rode a bunch of slides, we did the cliff jump, we floated the river, we had drinks, we ate lunch, and we genuinely enjoyed spending the day here. But I have a feeling that $59.99 may not be the price everybody sees once the park is fully open. The price can vary by sailing and availability, so definitely check your cruise before you book. And that's where our opinion could change. At $59.99, absolutely. At a significantly higher price, we definitely have to think about it. So who do we think should get a Great Tides Waterpark pass? If you love water slides, absolutely. If you have kids who love water parks, definitely worth considering. If you want to spend your entire Great Stirrup Cay day riding attractions, this is probably going to be a great option. But if you're looking for a relaxing beach day, I'd save your money. And if your plan is to spend the entire day floating the lazy river, I'd skip the water park ticket. The park is really about the combination of the slides, cliff jump, river, kids area, food, and drinks. That's where we think the real value is. So after getting an early look at Great Tides Waterpark, would we do it again? Absolutely. My favorite was the Breakwater Blasters and the Great Slide. Scott's favorite was the whole Cliffside Cove area. And while we think the park could have been even better with a pool or a wave pool, we still had a really fun day. And honestly, getting to experience it before the official opening made it even more special. Great Tides Waterpark officially opens September 4th, 2026. And if you're sailing to Great Stirrup Cay after that, hopefully this gives you a much better idea of what you're getting before you spend the money. If this video helped you decide whether Great Tides Waterpark is worth adding to your Great Stirrup Cay day, give us a thumbs up and subscribe for more cruise adventures. And let us know, would you spend the money on the water park or are you sticking with the beach? We'll see you on the next adventure.
It's a beautiful world out there. Just don't pass on the dare. If you have the will and